Annunciationis classis Latina, capitulum octavum, Taberna Romana. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen. Okay. In learning Latin, I've said this before, there's an order of priority. Now, priority doesn't necessarily mean importance, just priority means helping you to learn. And pronunciation is first. If you can't pronounce it, it's kind of hard to learn it. Second one is vocabulary. You need to learn words, okay? Lastly, well, next you need to know grammar. You got to know how to put the words together. And last one is you need to read because you need to know how the Romans actually express themselves for things. And this chapter, this is the chapter that latter one is all about. We have, let's see, where was it?
I think that should say latter, not later.
I think you're right. This chapter is the latter. There we go. Thank you. So what we're going to talk about are the pronouns, pronomia, the interrogativa, quis. That one's pretty easy. Then the relativa, qui. That one's not too hard either. And then the demonstrativa, hic, is, and illa. Those are the hard ones. English doesn't make some of the distinctions that Latin does. So let's start on those. Let's see here. Okay. Interrogative pronouns, pronomia interrogativa. They always ask a question. They're always the first word in a sentence, just like English. In English, we have who, whose, whom, and which. In Latin, we have similar, but Latin has number, case, and gender, which makes things a bit tricky. So I know we've been through this before, but we're going to go through it again. Quis, quae, quid. Who? Quis est Julius, who is Julius. Quae est Emilia, who is Amelia. Quid est liber? What is a book? So the declension is a little strange. We have a cuius and a cui and a quem and a quam and a quid. So it kind of falls, some of it falls like the first and second declension, but a lot of it doesn't. The merciful thing is a lot of the words are the same, no matter whether it's masculine, feminine, neuter. So that will be helpful. Now, examples of the pronomina interrogativa. Singular, nominativus. Nominative. In English, that would be who. You know, who is this? Who is that? What is that? So, singularis. Quis est? Who art thou? Or who are you? Quae mater Jesu est? Who is the mother of Jesus? Mater is feminine, so you better stick a quae out there. Quid est Creta? What is Crete? Creta insula est. Crete. Pluralis. Again, English doesn't have the distinction between case and number. Qui viri sunt? Who are the men? Quae femini sunt? Who are the women? Quae oppida sunt? What are the cities? Any questions? Okay. Genitivus, whose. Now, we saw that those were all cuius, so mercifully we use the same word for singular. Cuius filius dicit, whose son is speaking. Literally, the son of whom is speaking. But since we're using interrogative pronouns, we turn that into a question. Cuius filia dicit, whose daughter is speaking. Cuius baculum est, whose stick is this. Pluralis, we have quorum, quorum, quorum. So same thing, just need to match the gender and number. Any questions there? Nope. Okay. Dativus, two or four.
Did you miss in whose sons are singing? Do you leave out singing?
Oh,
I think, yeah.
sorry about that. Thank you. That was a test. Whoop. Wait a minute. It should. No, it's not canant. It's cantat. Cantat. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Thank you. That's the power of copy and paste.
So
We're still needing T in
you-
the quartophilia. You say canat instead of cantat.
yeah.
What?
You're still missing a T.
Canant is what you wrote.
Quorum filiae canat instead of cantat.
Oh, cantant.
Filling in for Alex tonight.
Yes. Thank you. Please do. Because when I teach this again, I'm not going to change these charts. I've updated them several times. I think I'm going to stick with this form. Thank you. And quota malus sunt, whose apples are these? Dativus, so to or for whom or to or for which. So cui Julius malum dat. To whom does Julius give an apple or the apple? One person. Cui Julia speculum dat. To whom does Julia give the mirror? One person. Cui oppido fluvius aquam dat. To which town does the river give water? For plural, it's quibus, quibus Julius malum dat. To whom does Julius give an apple? More than one person. Quibus.
Wanting to make that a long I for some reason. Quibus instead of quibus. Quibus.
No, it's long I. I think, wait. Now you're going to make me doubt
Oh, I
myself.
thought, okay, it was hard for
Yeah,
me
it
to
is a
see the
long I. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, it's a long I.
Oh, okay, and I thought you just said quibus, so but it is quibus.
It is
Okay.
quibus. Yeah. Quibus. And quibus oppidis fluvii aquam dant. To which towns do the rivers give water? And of course, accusative. And by the way, in English, if you would use a whom, then you would need to pick the right case on the Latin side, assuming you're doing your English correctly. These days, whom has sort of become an endangered species. Yeah, but be that as it may. So, quem filius pulsat? Whom does the son hit? Meaning what male? Quam filius pulsat? Whom does the son hit? Meaning what female?
So which do you use if you don't know if he's hitting a male or a female?
Quem. You always default to the masculine. Yeah, you always default to the masculine when it's, for example, if I say somebody knocks at the door and I want to say, who is it in Latin? I would say, quis est? Who is it? I don't know whether it's male or female, but uh, the male is understood. And to a certain extent, that's the way it was in English. If I said, uh, the mailman delivered the mail, he put the mail in the mailbox. Well, that could actually be a mailman or a mail woman, so to speak. He is shared amongst the various genders in the generic sense, and that the same is true in Latin. So, so if you don't know who is doing the hitting, or no, sorry, if you don't know who is being hit, then you could just say quem filius pulsat. If it's an inanimate object, then you would use quid. Quid Lydia in colo habet. What does Lydia have on her neck? You would not use a quem or a quam because, well, if you did, then you'd be saying, who does Lydia have on her neck? um, I don't know, maybe she's in a wrestling match. Pluralis, quos, quas, quae, same thing. Quos filios pulsat, whom does the sun hit? Meaning there's multiple targets. Quas filios pulsat, whom does the sun hit? Meaning what females? And then quae albinus ornamenta vendit, which ornaments does Albinus sell?
There are lots of little tricks to memorize these.
Yes,
One of which is on the neuter, the nominative and the accusative is always the same in the singular and in the plural. That's helpful, and it's always
yeah, and that's always true for all declensions and adjectives and everything else. I don't know of a single exception to that rule.
another is that in the singular,
Quid, quid.
the M ending and an AM is always going to be feminine because A is feminine,
Yep,
whereas the EM will always be masculine. And the
masculine.
reason why you don't have the quem and the neuter is because in the neuter, you have to have a D ending in the nominative singular, and you have to have a D ending in the accusative. So anyway, it's you can't have an M ending in the neuter because that wouldn't coincide with the nominative.
Right,
So these little rules really are helpful. And then of course the plural, if it says quas, that means it has to be feminine because it's an AS. If it
right,
says quos, it's plural, it has to be masculine. It can't be the same for neuter because the nominative doesn't end in an OS. So it has to be a quae if it's plural.
right.
So there are just a lot of little rules like that. But that quibus, quibus, quibus in in the dative and in the ablative,
Yeah,
that's a really easy one.
yeah.
And
There's
then
no excuse there.
yeah, and in the singular, the cuyus, 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 the cui, cui, cui,
Yeah,
you just that helps.
it does.
And then, in the plural, the aurum and aurum, we see that in different tenses. That's going to be a genitive. That's the big tip off for plural
Right.
on genitive. Anyway, I've listed these differently than the way the book does. I go nominative, genitive, dative, accusative,
Yeah,
ablative.
and that's what I'm doing is I've
It,
adopted
it,
that.
to me, it makes far more sense.
Yeah, and that's the traditional order the Latin grammarians did. So we can blame it on the Europeans. They thought they could do it better.
And
I,
they use the term in the book of interrogative adjectives. So that's when you get into like which, I guess, when you jump from quis to quid to que, and from quid to quod.
those are actually known as relative pronouns.
Well, interrogative adjectives.
Well, okay, yeah,
An interrogative qui is an interrogative adjective, and quod is an interrogative adjective. It's also the same uh, in the relative, except in relative you don't have that bifurcated system the way you do in the interrogative system.
yeah, I'm getting to that. Relatives up next. And of course, last but not least, but the ablativus. A quo Marcum verberatur. By whom is Marcus being beaten? Julius et Emilia quoque, in one part or another. A qua ancilla Julius salutatur, by which handmaid is Julius greeted? In quo oppido Cornelius habitat, in which town does Cornelius live? Pluralis is quibus, quibus, and quibus. Sounds like a law office, doesn't it? The
Yeah.
law offices of quibus, quibus, and quibus.
But that ibus ending is the same in other
Yep.
declensions.
Yeah. And later on, I think it's the next chapter or the chapter after that. I forget. No, the next one is Pastor et Oves, isn't it? Yeah. We will be introduced to the third declension. And quisque quid is kind of it's got parts of the second declension, like the quorum, quarum, quorum, and the quo, qua, quo, and the quos, quas, que. But the quibus is, you'll see those in the third declension. So I think that'll hopefully cement it even further. Um, the ablative, the ablativus, when you're using these pronomia interrogativa, are usually done in the passive voice because they are by whom or by which. Well, that means you're asking something was done to somebody by whom, and that means passive voice.
Michael, this is something I've always gotten confused on, so I'm clarifying. That second example for quibus, is that one actually singular because Julius is singular?
Oh, I'm sorry, you're quite right. That should be a singular. That is all singular. There we go. The only plural is this guy over here. I got carried away by plurals. Well, okay, hold on. Hold on. That is a portantur because here Sachi is plural. Let's see. Let me make sure I didn't. Uh,
I
Delectantur. There we
I
go.
mean, it works,
That's
right?
right. That's singular. The other
Julius,
two.
I don't think is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Julius is singular. The other two are plural.
Okay. I just
So I
wanted to
only made
clarify.
one mistake, not three. Yeah, thank you. All right. And pronomia relativa. That introduces a clause which modifies or qualifies the preceding noun. Never asks a question. Okay. Just points to a preceding noun. And in English, we have the same set: who, whose, whom, that, and which. Okay, so the Lord, who is just and merciful, will judge us in the end. So the who refers back to the Lord. It's not a question, it is rather a relative pronoun where we are describing or quantifying some aspect of the noun. On Friday, which is a day of abstinence, we do not eat meat. So again, the which refers back to the Friday. The altar that is in the center of the church is the high altar. So the that receives or refers back to the noun. So a relative pronoun always relates back to a concrete noun or that is being discussed or talked about in a sentence, or even sometimes across several sentences. And it has almost the exact same. Oh, I was going to put the two. Oh, here, let me do this. I was going to put these guys side by side. And then we were going to play Where's Waldo, so to speak. Forgot to do that. There. Oh, they don't fit. Here, let me squish them down a little. Here, let me squish that down a little. Whoops. No, 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 no. Don't want to do that. Put that there. There. You can see that other than the quisque quid or the quique quad, all the other items are the same. Oh, here, let me shrink this text a bit. Yeah, let's make that 27. So the only ones you really have to worry about is the nominative form. I mean, you have to be able to conjugate, decline the rest of the forms. But the big thing here is that once you have one, you have the other, except for the nominative cases there. Let's see. Oh, nominativus.
If you just memorize one gender at a time, I found it a lot easier to memorize all three genders if you start with one
I would agree with that. Yeah.
and you memorize that, then you can move to the others. If you try to memorize all of them at once, it's too hard to unscramble it.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that, Alex. Nominativus, qui, quae, quad. Well, every Sunday, well, okay, I guess in the extraordinary form, we don't actually recite the Our Father. It's the priest who does, but still, I'm sure we've all recited the Our Father in Latin at some time or not. So, Pater Noster, qui es in celis, our Father who art in heaven. And there's the qui. Sancta Maria, quae Mater Jesu est. Holy Mary, who is the mother of Jesus. Tusculum quod oppidum magnum non est prope Romam.
When you see the D, you know it's neuter.
Yeah, and let me put a comma there. There. Latin doesn't have it, but
Prope takes the accusative.
yes. So Tusculum, which is not a big town, is near Rome. I probably should maybe even throw in another est there. Whoop, and get rid of the there. Pluralis, qui, quae, quae. Oh, yeah, I suppose I should. Yeah. Qui, que in both cases. Vir qui magnum pecuniam habent, ornamenta emunt. Straight out of the lesson. The men who have lots of money buy the jewelry. Feminae, quae viros pecuniosus habent, multa ornamenta aviris, suis. Hold on. There we go. Aviris suis accipiunt. The women who have rich husbands receive many ornaments from their husbands. Villae, quae magnae sunt, multe servi habent. Villas that are large have many servants. Any questions?
So the quay is feminine, and it goes with villa, which is feminine.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and generally speaking, for the relative, well, no, I better not say that. Skip that. Genitivus. Julius, cuius femina Emilia est, in villa habitat. Julius, whose wife is Amelia, lives in a villa. And you can turn it right around. Emilia, cuius vir Julius est, in villa habitat. Amelia, whose husband is Julius, lives in a villa. Villa, cuius servi Davus et Cyrus et Leander sunt, prope Tusculum est. The villa, whose servants are Davos, Cyrus, and Leander, is near Tusculum. Pluralis, quorum, quorum, quorum. So keep in mind that if anybody asks at a meeting if you have a quorum, you can shout that it's plural genitive.
Trivial pursuit.
Of course, they may kick you out. Well, actually, quorum is a perfectly good Latin word that just happens to be spelled the same. It comes from, I'm pretty sure. Well, okay, let me double check that before I say something wrong. I think Quorum. Quorum, post, essay. Oh, that's strange. Middle English wording of the commission formally issued to justices of the peace. Oh, okay. Yeah, it does come from there. Huh, interesting. It does come from that word. Albinus, nimurat sestertios, quorum numerus est nonaginti. Albinus counts the sesterces whose number is 90. Feminae, quorum vir magnum pecunia habent multa ornamenta. Didn't I just really read? Yeah, I did read this. No, I read it. Yeah. Oh, I see.
Could you do that sentence again? The feminine
Yeah,
quorum.
femini quorum viri magnum pecuniam habent multa ornamenta a viri suis accipiunt. The women whose husbands have a lot of money receive many ornaments from their husbands. Ornamenta, quorum pretium magnum habet, feminas delectant. The ornaments of which the price is high delight the women. Or in other words, the ornaments which are expensive make the women happy.
But literally is of which. That makes
Yes.
it
Yeah.
easier to understand because
Yeah.
we're thinking,
Yeah. Yeah. I tried to use the as close to the English genitive form as we have there because you are um, you could also say the ornaments whose price is high. Well, actually, do we use whose with inanimate objects? Hmm.
hmm,
The sticks whose
No, I think you'd say which.
I
yeah, you'd
think
have to say which.
of which seems
Yeah,
to
or
make
of which. Yeah, you can't use a whose there
unless you've named your ornament.
unless you've or they're sentient ornaments, or maybe they've been in. Well, there was that burning bush, so in the Old Testament, and
Here's my ornament named Maria.
so all right, dativus again, same idea. Servus qui Julius malum dat est Cyrus. The servant to whom Julius gives an apple is Cyrus. I think I've slugged through enough of the relative and interrogative pronouns. I don't think that's terribly difficult, other than maybe keeping the declension straight. The one that's really going to mess with your brain, though, are pronomia demonstrativa, demonstrative pronouns. Demonstrative because it points something out. Monstrare means to show. That's why when the Eucharist is uh, out for adoration, it is in a monstrance. It's not from monster, but rather from monstro, which means to show, present. And the reason we have the word monster is it literally means a sight to behold, is how it got into the English language. Anyway, it refers to something specific and not generic. Both the interrogative, well, generic is a book, an apple, a villa, a man, a woman, etc. Okay. In English, it would have it would not have a the or a the. It would be a or an, meaning a sort of a generic item that we're talking about, or talking about apples in general or something. Specific, on the other hand, is this book, this man, that man, etc. Now, the fun part is where English only has one set of demonstrative pronouns. Latin has three. And we already saw that in the last class that hic, haec, hoc means, and hic means here, present, and the hic, haec, hoc means this here person or thing. Okay. Illa, illud means that there person or thing over there. It's not nearby. Now, that's not too confusing. I mean, English kind of has that. If I say this book on my desk, meaning it's right here next to me, or if I say the altar that is in Annunciation, or I guess that's that, it's far away. So that's not too bad. But it also has is, ea, id. Now, we've been reading that as he, she, and it. And that is a perfectly good understanding of what is ea, id is. But I warned you that it's more than that. And so we'll kind of go through some of this to help maybe clarify the use. And this is where I mean, when I set up here, there it is. No, where did I say it? Nope, nope, nope. This chapter is about the latter. Oh, Ethan, I forgot to answer your question. I apologize. Ethan asked about the dies illa, dies irae, dies illa. And I was trying to remember which way it went, but that is a fourth declension noun. We haven't had it yet. Nouns in the fourth declension are usually masculine. Oh, I'm sorry, this is fifth declension. I'm getting ahead of myself. Excuse me. Fifth declension nouns are feminine, except for the oddball masculine noun dies, which means day, which is sometimes a masculine noun or sometimes a feminine noun. In ecclesiastical Latin, it is usually the feminine. So that's why it's dies ille, dies illa. In classical Latin, though, you will see it as masculine. In ecclesiastical Latin, you will occasionally see it as masculine, but most of the time you'll see it as feminine. Does that answer your question, Ethan? I think that was a very quick yes that your microphone didn't pick up. Ethan, if you said something, I didn't hear it. I saw the microphone go active, but I never heard anything on this end. Try saying something again.
Is it working now?
There we go. Perfect. Maybe it was double muted.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's all there are a few nouns that like to pose as either gender, and dies is one of them. All right, where was I? He cake hook. Oh, okay. He cake hook. We've already been through this. I just going to mention it here. So when you say hic vir, you mean this man who is present. Hic rosa, this rose, which is present, which is here. Hoc malum, this apple, which is here. And in the Mass, we have hoc est enim corpus meum, for this is my body. And we also have hic est enim calix sanguinis mei, for this is the chalice of my, the chalice of my blood. And it means something present. Illa illud means that over there. It's something that is far from the subject. So ille vir would be that man over there. Illa rosa, that rose over there. Or illud malum, that apple over there. Is ea id. As I said, we've been treating that as the same as the third person pronoun, which is great. And Latin certainly uses it that way, and you will find it that way in the Vulgate. But in English, the demonstrative pronouns are this, that, these, and those. And since is ea id is also a demonstrative pronoun, it can also mean this, that, these, and those. So if you see is liber, meaning this book, or ea puella, meaning that girl, is perfectly good Latin grammar. The literal sense is this or that one, and it refers to a previously mentioned noun. So in English, we would normally use a pronoun. So it's convenient to translate that as he, she, or it. but it can also mean this or that. I have a couple of examples. Quis est puer, is est frater meus. Who is that boy? He is my brother. Que est ea puella? Ea est soror mea. Who is that girl? She is my sister. And this is the double use here. I'm using it here in English as we would have a pronoun. Is est frater meus. He is my brother. But I'm also using it as a demonstrative adjective. Who is that boy? Who is that girl? Or who is this girl for that matter? Or who is this boy? And cujus id baculum est. Whose staff is that? Now, if I said, let's say we're talking about, somebody pick a movie. How about Princess Bride? Is that a good movie?
Always.
What?
Always.
Okay. So if we were talking about The Princess Bride, in English, we might say something like, I loved this movie. Or maybe you might say, I hated this movie, in which case you're weird, as far as I'm concerned. Notice that we used this and that in English, even though it was not in our presence. So in English, when we use this and that, and these and those, we really don't distinguish terribly well with what is or is not present. Latin does distinguish. If it is in the immediate area, we use hic, haec, hoc. If it is far away, we use ille, illa, illud. And if it is abstract, then we use is, ea, id. And this is where you're probably going to tear your hair out because English just doesn't make that distinction. As I said, though, Latin does. So if you are talking about it, such as the movie, The Princess Bride. By the way, movie in Latin is pellicula. So
What is it again?
pellicula.
Can you spell that? Put it in the chat.
I think that's what it is in Spanish also.
It could be. It literally refers to a strip. Okay. And what is a reference to is, movies used to be a strip of film. And so the pellicula was used as a word for a movie because that's, the movie was a long strip of film. And so I don't, we still talk about taking, if we're not careful and we date ourselves, you say, oh, I taped last night's show, or I taped the concert, or I videotaped something. Well, we've long since stopped using tape as a medium for recording audio and video. But it's still hung around because that was the original medium. So pellicula is kind of like that. So if we were talking about The Princess Bride, we might say ea pellicula, this film or that film, depending upon how we're discussing it. And that's the tricky part. And the only way you're going to pick that up is really to read a lot of Latin to see how they use it, because it's not the way we normally use this, that, these, and those. So any questions on that?
Could
or
you,
this.
well, uh,
Go ahead.
well, I'm trying to get the difference between an ile puer and an is puer. They both mean that, but could you explain that again? The distinction?
Okay. If I said, let's see where I think I had an example. Oh, okay. I know. Here, let's do it this way. I'm going to throw in a new slide. And let's put that in. And so let's take, which one do you want? Do you want the East Vater May? Oh, okay.
Well, you would say ile if you were saying that, ile puer if you were saying that boy, right?
All right, let's do this. Yeah, I see.
Can
Okay,
you say quis es ile puer and
hold on. Let me paste some words in here. All right, quis est hic puer.
no, that's this. I'm
I know,
talking,
I know. Who is this boy? I'm going to do all three and explain the difference.
okay.
Is what I'm doing here, Alex. Quis est ille puer? Whoops. I
He
was
may be
sure.
open.
I was sure. Well, the L was close to the K. And it could be that. All right. Quis est hic puer literally means who is this here boy or this boy here, you know,
Very specific.
very specific. He's standing right in front of us. Okay.
Okay.
So we really wouldn't say that of Marcus, right?
Right.
Marcus is not in front of us. He's kind of an intangible, abstract thing. But yeah, we'll take Ethan. If Ethan was uh, in front of us, we might say quis est hic puer. The quis est ille puer. Whoops. Is who is that there boy, meaning Ethan is across the street. Okay. Or maybe he's serving mass and we're in the back of the church or something like that. Okay.
Okay.
Or that there boy or that boy over there or, implying distance. Okay.
Yeah.
Quis est ist puer? Who is this or that boy? Um, boy,
Is that
does
is that in a situation other than where you're pointing to, you're just talking about
yeah, this is, let's see, how do I
more
want to say it?
generally?
I don't want to say abstract. Um, oh boy, what's the word I want? Not present,
Well, if you're looking at
not
a
here.
painting of a, if you were looking at a painting of a boy, would that be where you would use the is?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. You'd use Heek or well, painting. Oh boy, pintura, pintura. I forgot what painting is. Oh, now I'm gonna have to. You're gonna make me look it up. Well, actually, I'm gonna make myself look it up because I should know what that is. Painting. There we go. Pictura. Oh, okay. I had it almost right. So you might say, let's say we're in an art museum. Shall we make it the Louvre? We'll make it a nice art museum. I don't know. Anyway, we might be looking at the Mona Lisa, and we would definitely say Haec Pactura. pictura, sorry, this painting right there. Or maybe if it were down the hall, we might say illa pictura. But if we're talking about the Mona Lisa and the painting here, I mean, in class, then you would use the is ea id.
There was a painting by Thomas Gainsborough called Blue Boy.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and if I wanted to know who that boy is, would I be using is since that boy is not in front of me?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So again, the more common instance where we're pointing to somebody, that's when we're using hic
Yeah.
and ille.
Yeah. If you're specifically noting location, you use these two.
Okay.
But if you're talking like generalities, like this movie is the best, well, the movie isn't like in front of us, and it's not, well, unless we're sitting, maybe if we're sitting in the movie theater, that would qualify.
I think your word abstract makes sense
Yeah.
because it is more abstract.
Yeah. Let's put in more abstract. And as I said, it'll take practice. Lots and lots and lots of practice, I'm afraid. So now that we've beaten that to death, let's go back to the reading. And I think I'm going to pop up just a little bit. I think we finished at section 3, didn't we?
Well,
Well, oh wait. No, 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 no. How far did we get?
well, we were getting to in the late 60s, I think.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but could you go back to that line 66? So you and I were talking about that.
Oh yeah, this one. Okay.
If you use the word surely,
Yeah, yeah.
a ring without a gem.
Yeah. Um, actually, I've used that surely
Oh yeah, you've got it
before.
here.
Yeah,
Marcus
I've
isn't
I've
a good
used it
boy.
before. For some reason it didn't come to mind.
Yeah.
So non, as I said, non-A isn't handled. Sorry, excuse me, num is not handled terribly gracefully in. Well, even the non-A is a little tricky. Although of the two, it's uh, I use the word surely here because I want to emphasize. Now, this is for non-A. Non-A Marcus puer improbus. Surely Marcus is a bad boy. And that's like a rhetorical question, sort of, because I'm expecting you to say yes. Now, it doesn't have to be a positive sentence. I could say non è Marcus puer probus non est. Surely Marcus is not a good boy. It's not so much whether it's a positive statement or a negative statement, but rather I'm expecting an answer in the affirmative, meaning I'm expecting you to agree with that statement, whether it's an is or an is not. Num, on the other hand, is the other way around. I'm expecting.
Something I'm trying to plug into my brain.
Go ahead.
Something I'm trying to plug into my brain to help me keep them straight is that none is longer than num and yes is longer than no.
That's one way. That's
Any trick will work.
any trick. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? Any port in a storm?
Yeah. And
Yeah, no, that's a good one, Teresa.
Teresa's got all kinds of tricks.
And I admit that's a different one. Um, the way I well, okay, the way I remember it is non means not, and ne is
It's a double negative,
it's
which
a double negative, so it
yes.
means yes. So now if that causes your brain to blow, pick Teresa's, you know. Anyway, num Marcus puer probus est is I'm expecting an answer in the negative, and English is a bit awkward here.
But that
Um,
is versus isn't is the key.
yeah,
If
yeah,
you start off with the surely,
yeah. And so going back to
line
what did you say?
60,
Line 66, I think it
yeah,
was
where made
66.
is, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So the way to understand this is Medus is being somewhat skeptical when he says a ring without a stone or a gem costs
only,
only
yeah,
20 sestertians. And so what he's kind of hinting at is Albinus has got a real deal, good deal here. Well, not maybe that's a bad choice of words, is really jacking up the price
yeah,
for certain things. And so he's somewhat incredulous that a plain ring is 20 sestertians.
yeah.
And notice that Albinus does not say a thing. He just sort of changes the subject. Well, actually,
That was sort of a gotcha question.
yeah, it was. It was. Yeah, it was. Matus should maybe have worked for the press corps and interviewed politicians or something. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, surely a ring without a gemstone
Is not worth only.
is not only worth 20 sestertians.
Yeah.
Yeah, is maybe the best way to do that. So I say English doesn't handle that terribly gracefully, as
But
or at least
that surely construction is the best way I can think of this.
you're right. Now, I did find some good examples.
Oh,
Genesis et Dominus ad Cain, ubi est Abel frater tuus. Where is Abel, your brother? Cain, qui responded, Nescio, I don't know. Num custos fratris mei sum ergo. In the Douay-Rheims, I think they translated that pretty well. I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? Implying that he is
not.
God. He's hoping God will say, no, you are not your brother's keeper.
Or surely I am not my
Or
brother.
surely I am not my brother. Yeah, or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, something like that. So it's a bit tricky in English to get the right tone.
But that's interesting. Am I my brother's keeper?
Am I my brother? Yeah, num custos fratris mei
So
sum.
that does suggest a negative answer.
Yeah, he's looking for a, hey, I don't know. I'm not my brother's keeper, am I?
Look for him yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway. All right. Let's continue on. Let's see how much time we got half an hour. Good. So I want to start back. Oh, actually, no. Uh, let's see, where am I? Let's see. We are in. Okay, no, we'll go. We'll start back here. I need an Albinus, Medus, and a Lydia.
I can do Lydia.
Okay. Who wants to be rich? I think that's Albinus.
I'll be Albinus.
You'd need to be an albina.
Yeah. My voice is deep
That's
enough.
true. Your voice is getting down there tonight. So anyway, yeah, we're for those who
In this
don't
day
know.
and age, you never know.
Yeah, well, we just cleared out our entire kitchen and the cabinets has shown up and tomorrow the wrecking ball shows up. So
Ah,
both a little
Are you starting at line 48?
punchy. Yes, we're starting here.
Okay.
who's Medus? Who's going to be Medus?
Who's got to be? We need a medus.
Someone who hasn't been talking.
We'll nominate Connor.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, let's see, was it Home Depot you used to work or still works or
Me?
yeah.
Oh no, I've never worked at Home Depot. You would not want me advising you on your home projects, let me tell you that much.
Okay, I'm trying. All right. Somebody used to anyway.
Oh, I did.
Well, yeah. No, the idea is you can be Medus is the slave, not the shopkeeper. Never mind.
Yes.
Anyway, you're Medus. Let's
Okay.
proceed.
In hoc ornamento viginti margarite magnae sunt. Nonne pulchrae sunt he margarite.
Okay, hold on just a second. So notice, hey, Margarite, these pearls.
Yeah, that's plural. Yeah.
Yes, these pearls. So the pearls are right there in front of them. Medus, take it away.
Amica mea multas margaritas habet.
In hac taberna multa alia ornamentae sunt.
Yeah, so hold on. So in this shop, again, we're talking about this shop. I guess I got to be the narrator. Albinus.
Ablative singular.
Yeah. Albinus iis tres annulos sine gemmis ostendit.
Aspicite.
Well, hold on. I'll give you your cue in a minute.
Okay.
So albinus, and this is where we're going to use iis, shows these three rings without gems. Now, this is a little tricky here. See, we're talking about the stuff that he's selling. And so since we're talking about that, we're going to use the iis. Oh, sorry. It shows three rings. Oh, wait, sorry, that's to them. Excuse me. I'm mistranslating. Albinus shows the three rings without gems to them. Sorry. We're using that as the pronoun form. Go ahead, Albinus.
Is that in the dative there?
That's the dative plural.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see here.
If it's to them, it's dative, right?
Whoop.
Yeah, that would have to be dative.
Wait a minute.
No,
Yeah.
you're not.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute.
I have a typo in here.
No, you need to go to Elay.
No, those are
No, not
edis.
Elay. Yeah, these are typos.
No. The okay.
Masculine for east, the plural is eis for the ablative or the dative.
Yeah, I think well, actually, hold on here. There's actually two forms.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. And I did not show. Oh, do they have them in here? No, never mind. I'll fix that later. There's an E form and an I form. And I should have listed both. So let's continue.
Let's see. Where are we?
Albinus.
Because yeah, yeah.
Aspicite hos annulos, nonne hi annuli pulchri sunt?
Right. Medus et Lydia annulos aspiciunt.
In his angelis gemme nulle sunt.
Yeah, in these rings there are no gems. Medus albinum interrogat. Medus?
Oh, sorry. Quod numis constat annulus in quo gemma est.
Albinus medo annulum gemmatum ostendit. Albinus.
Hic annulus
Centum.
centum numis constat.
Right. Medus.
Quid?
Pretium
Fortunately,
huius
Connor, you're already married, so you're good.
True.
pretium huius annuli est centum sestertii.
Centum sestertii id magnum pretium est.
Immo parvum pretium est, aspice hunc annulum in hoc annulo magna gemma est. Tanta gemma sola octoginta sesterces constat.
Good, good. Yeah, let's hold it just there for a second. So we're talking about items that are in front of us. The price of this, sorry, of these rings. Sorry, of this ring, excuse me. Let's see where else. In these rings, there are no gems. And there was another one in here. Oh, this ring costs 100 coins. Now, I did want to mention, oh, where is it? Is it convenient? Oh, didn't
Now,
I?
is when he says it's centum numi, he's saying plural coins, but is the numis or the I can't talk tonight for some reason. I know sestertia have a specific value, but is
Yeah.
numi are
Oh,
numi just generic coins? So you're saying
yeah.
it's 100 coins of whatever you want to give me, or what?
Yeah. Orberg is playing a little fast and loose here. Okay.
Okay.
He has been talking about sestertii, though,
Yeah.
so it's
Yes.
probably just assuming. You've already talked about it before. Numis is faster.
I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure I had it in my head that it wasn't a specific value assigned to that now.
It is normally. Excuse me. It isn't normally. It's our equivalent of coin.
Okay.
And so there were a lot of different kinds of coins in circulation. So yeah, you could give them, technically, you could give them 100
100
pennies.
pennies and be gone down the road.
Yeah. But since the words, the Cistercians are all over the place, um, you can tell it by their habits. The Cistercians wear monastic hat. Never mind. Anyway, the implication is there. I don't know if they would actually do that in real speech. I think they would use the actual amount. So I think this might be pedagogical more than anything else. Is my
Trying to expose us to the
Yeah,
combinations of words and stuff.
yeah. So all right, so let's press on. I think Matus, we have you. Oh, constat, yes. Actually, I thought I had a slide for that. I had convenit. I had nonne, num, and I had the ablative of price. Oh, with verbs of buying and selling, the price is in the ablative. So hic annulus centum numis. That's why that is in the ablative, constat. And constat or consto means to stand together, stand with some person, steady, firming, unchanging, movable, constant. And so when the Romans would say hic annulus centum numis constat, literally means this ring stands at 100 coins, which is pretty intelligible English. Or the price of this ring stands at 100 coins, and that again is intelligible. But
Does
really
that
what he's
that
saying
mean
is,
does that mean more like that's a firm price, or does that mean that's the what's the word for it, where it's the starting price?
both.
Okay.
Yeah, it can be it. Yeah, given this is the market and he's selling goods such as these, I would say that is the starting price. And as we saw, Matus did talk him down a little bit. Um, but stands means that's where it is right now. Whether you get the merchant to budge or not, well, that's the art of the deal. To quote.
Stands makes a lot more sense to me than stands together.
Yeah, well, in this case, just stands is a reasonable thing. Yeah. So, but the con is stow means stand. If I was saying I am standing, stow, you are standing, stas.
Yeah, so I see the
Sta.
one is with, so
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Yeah. So, in fact, how many? Okay, here's a an oldie. If you were an editor back in the days of when you edited it on paper and you circled something and you wrote stet.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, good. Anybody know what stet is or what I'm
yeah.
talking about?
It's the
I
same.
don't.
Did you say yes, Teresa, or no?
I said I do not.
Yes,
Okay. That was when editing was done by pencil and paper.
you made a mistake and you were correcting it and saying it's not a mistake. It's the same thing.
Yeah, stet literally means let it stand in
Yep,
Latin.
yep.
And it's the subjunctive form of sto or stave. So trivia there. So anyway, yeah, it literally means this ring stands at 100 coins. So, and to a certain extent, if you have at 100 coins, then you can see why the ablative is sneaking in there because we have an at in there. But that's the way they did it. Where were we? Okay. We need a medus again.
Stare is Stabat, like Stabat Mater.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Those are
Thank you. Yeah,
those,
stabat is um, imperfect tense, which we haven't had yet.
but they're part
So
of the same verb, right?
same verb, yes. Literally, stabat means she was standing
At the at
at
the
the
at the cross
at the
or
cross.
with Jesus.
Yeah. Or if you're doing but that's the Stabat Mater Dolorosa. And if you
Right.
are doing the Stabat Mater Speciosa, she was standing by the crib.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
That's right.
those two hymns are bookends.
Yeah.
Sadly, you only hear the first one and not the second.
Dolorosa. Yeah.
Anyway, so I think we did. Where are we here?
We're
We
numerous.
we've done that.
Oh, medus qui alium annulum gematum post albinum videt.
Wait a minute.
No, we're on the line before that one.
Oh, we're on the numa. This one?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Medus. There we go.
Right. Num annulus sine gemma vigenti tansum sestertius constat.
Albinus non respondet.
Connor, you did
Medus.
great.
Yes. Medus qui alium annulum gematum post albinum videt.
Hic annulus pulcher non est. Quod sestertius constat ille annulus.
I think Medus is looking for a bargain. Albinus.
Qui annulus.
Yeah, let's stick with that one. Notice he didn't say quid annulus, meaning what is a ring, but rather he said qui annulus, meaning which ring, because we are talking about the ring. And so he is using the relative pronoun.
So Ile is that one.
Oh, the next one?
Yeah,
Yeah, Ile Poste. Yeah, that one
that one
behind you.
behind you,
Yeah. hmm So Medus,
Ile poste.
post.
Poste.
Shorto, post.
like posthumous.
Yeah, like posthumous.
Right.
Not like post, as in fence or US mail.
Huh.
Go ahead.
Quantum est pretium illius annuli.
Medus annulum post albinum digito monstrat. Hold on a second. Monstrat. As I mentioned, monstrat is to show, to point out. So medus
He pointed at the ring with his finger.
pointed at the ring behind Albinus.
Is the word monstrance related to that?
Very much so. It means the meaning is to show, to point out, to
Think of
present,
demonstrate.
to demonstrate. Yeah,
Demonstrate.
demonstrate would be a good another root word from that. And so the monstrance is you are maybe that's not the best term. You are showing off the precious body.
Yeah,
Focusing attention upon.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's a good point. Yeah, it is designed to call attention to.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, where were we? Yes, that one behind you. Albinus.
Ille quoque annulus centum sestertiis constat. Pretium illius annuli tantum est quantum huius, sed amica tua hunc annulum amat non illum.
And that is a perfect use of the ile and the hic. The price of that there ring over there
Is
is the same as the price of this one here. But your girlfriend likes this ring, not that one.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that ius is in the genitive on ilius and huius.
Right. The
It's just
price.
it's just another tip.
Yep.
That ius is a tip that you're dealing with the genitive.
Yep. Lydia annulum gematum ante oculus tenet.
Well, Matus is in trouble now.
Yeah.
He's holding it.
Well, there's reason. Oh, never mind. There's reasons that we have this scene in the market, and Medus is buying her a ring. Go ahead, Lydia.
Oh, quam pulchrum hoc ornamentum est, illud ornamentum non tam pulchrum est quam hoc, neque illa gematanta est quanta haec.
So this is a good these last two lines are important to not as great as or not as much as.
Right. Yep. And that
Non
is
tam pulchrum esquam.
yes. Yes.
And
Not as
beautiful.
beautiful as that one or this one. Sorry, this one. Excuse me. That ring, or well, ornament, in this case, that ring is not as beautiful as this one. And we've had, let's see here. Where is it? I'm going to save Tanta and Quantus. No, we'll do them here. We'll do them here. We've had tantum before as an adverb, which means only. And we saw it used that way earlier. Que nullum aut parvum pecuniam habent ornamenta aspiciant tantum non emunt. Those women who have little or no money only look at jewelry they do not buy. So tantum here is only. But tantus as by itself is of such size or measure, so great in amount, extent, value, or agree.
Yeah, so much. I see so much in my little dictionary that I use.
Yeah, well, and then there's tantum ergo sacramentum, therefore such a great sacrament. So great a gemstone alone costs 80 sestertians. By itself, how much? Like quantum est pretium ilius annuli. How much is the price of that ring? Or how great is the price of that ring, depending upon how you want to think of it.
So when you have tanta est quanta haec, illa gemma tanta est quanta haec.
Let's see, where are we?
So neque illa gemma tanta est quanta haec.
80.
On line
Here
80.
we go. Yes,
Nor is this gem,
that.
that gem, as much as this one, or as great as this one,
Yeah, or
as great
is
as.
so great as this. Oh boy, nah, hold on. Let me get to Quantus. Oh
But that,
no, hold on. Sorry. Excuse me. Next slide. Together they express a comparison.
right.
Digitus quartus non tantus est quantus digitus meus. So the fourth finger is not so great or not as big as the middle finger. Okay. Quantus is how much or quantity. Maybe that's yeah. Think of quantus as quantity, and then maybe this makes a little more sense. The fourth digit is not so great as the quantity of the middle digit.
Well, in this case, when they say illa gemma tanta est quanta haec, they're saying nor is that gem as beautiful,
As big. The
as
quanta
big.
as big.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
as big as that one,
Yeah.
as this one.
Yeah, the ring she has is prettier, and as far as she's concerned, the gem is bigger.
Yeah, nor is that one as great,
Yeah,
or as big as this one.
right.
I guess an ornament size really does matter, huh?
Yep.
So both illa and haec can have the one understood.
Yes. Ila, that ring over there. The gem, that one over there, is, well, and not, sorry. Now I got to put a negative in there, is not as large as this one.
Yeah, nor is that one.
Yeah.
As large as.
Yeah. Medus.
Tanta gemma et tam parvum annulum non convenit.
Now, this is another little idiom. In fact, this whole chapter is, in a way, sort of idiomatic, kind of. Let's see, where did I put it? Where did I put convenit? Tantus.
That means such a large gem.
Oh, there it is. Convenit. Okay. So convenit is con plus venit, which means to convene, come together, meet together, assemble, lovers rendezvous, and all sorts of things. So in Mark 3:20, advenit ad dominum et convenit iterum turba. They came to a house and a great crowd came together. Convenit, crowd, turba, iterum again. So in Latin, convenit can also mean convenient. Okay. As in fit or suitable. So tanta gemma ad tam parvum annulum non convenit, such a large gem in such a small ring is not suitable or convenient, or pick a word.
Doesn't look good together.
Yeah, it doesn't look good together.
Inappropriate.
I wouldn't say
yeah.
inappropriate. That has more of a, well, maybe, but inappropriate can also mean, well, all right, no, inappropriate, I guess would work. I was thinking as in inappropriate behavior, but lots of things can be
It's a
inappropriate
hard
behavior.
phrase to nail down on this one.
Yeah, so I would say
Said does not fit.
suitable or fit. No, I would use the word suitable in this sense.
I think suitable, yeah.
Lydia, que haec verba non audit, medio digitos suos ostendit, in quibus nulli annulli sunt.
Aspice mere, indigitis meis nulli sunt annuli. Aliae semine digitus annulorum plenos habet, mei digiti vacui sunt.
Medus.
And
Saculus quoque meus vacuus est.
Yeah. Well, if he expressed that in the future
Talking
tense,
about
then
his
I wouldn't.
money bag.
Yeah, if he said instead of est to erit, meaning my my sack will be
will be empty.
empty also.
Remind me, what's the vacui?
Vacuous as in
Vacant.
empty,
Like in
Oh,
as
right.
in
Okay.
vacuum,
like vacant.
or well, and they've said
Yeah. Okay.
a vacuous
But
person.
Lydia knows better.
Yeah, a vacuous person is somebody who's got
Empty
no
headed.
brains. Empty head.
Empty-headed. Yeah.
Yeah. So Lydia annulum immensa ponet, in oculis eius lacrimae sunt. Oh boy, Medus is in for it. Medus, qui lacrimas videt, saculum suum immensa ponet. Neque vacus est saculus. Yeah, not quite empty yet. Sed plenus numorum, quanta pecunia est in saculo medi. And this is where we're seeing that this is used as how much. In eo nonagenta sestertii insunt. But we all knew that. Medus.
Ecce sestertii nonagita.
Albinus.
Sorry. Sed non aginta non satis est. Pretium annuli est sestertii centum.
Lydia.
Huic tabernario centum sestertios.
I wonder if she used to work in the Office of Management and Budget. Anyway, we'll have to stop there. It's 9:01. Okay. Another word I don't think we've had satis before. Think of it as in satiate or enough
Satisfy.
or satisfy. Satisfy is better. Satisfy.
Yeah.
I like satisfy better. When it's the double 99s outside, you can go around to your friends and say satine caloris tibi est, which means roughly, is it hot enough for you? Of course, they may think you have sunstroke, so maybe you shouldn't go around saying that to people. So anyway, we will continue on with chapter 8 next time. We will meet. I hope I update. Did I meet? I don't think I tend to forget to update this slide. Yeah, anyway, good. I didn't say a thing, but yeah, please listen to that recording. Go over this. As I said, the grammar is not that difficult. Whoops, where did I put there it is. And the vocabulary isn't too bad. If you go down, come on. And by the way, they do have the table for hic, hic, hoc. The grammar is not all that bad. Okay, it's not huge. Taberna, shop, Gemma, Margarita. But the killer, whoops, scroll back up. Notice in the Grammatica Latina, it's from lines 135 all the way down to 210, not including the table. And that's because we need to drill into our minds the use of the relative and interrogative pronouns. And they do a really neat job of this. In fact, read through it. Quis sacum portat? Who's carrying the bag? Servus sacum portat. The slave or servant is carrying the bag. Qui servus? Which servant? Servus qui sacum portat est Cyrus. The servant who is carrying the bag is Cyrus. Is servus or ille servus sacum portat. So if he says is servus sacum portat, he's saying that service.
What
That
what does that say? I can't read it. It looks
what
like
this?
Ishile.
Oh no,
Yes.
it's sorry, it's is and then slash ille. Here,
Oh,
let
okay,
me
thanks.
zoom that up there.
To the right, it says e servus equals ille
Yeah,
servus.
yeah. Whoop. So is servus and ille servus here mean the same thing in that what what the Latin is trying to say is that servant is carrying the bag, or he. No, well, no, it would be that servant. It wouldn't be he servant.
And the point is that we can speak of it as more in the abstract.
The more in the abstract, yes. And you'll see this all over the place. This is now he does it nominative,
Yeah,
accusative.
Aum and Ilium.
Yeah, and this is what genitive and then dative and then ablative. So he gives it in a different order.
It's a busy chapter.
It is a very busy chapter. Not difficult grammatically, or at least I wouldn't consider it difficult grammatically, but it is difficult in getting your P's and Q's straight, shall we say.
You were going to explain to us about EEs and AEs.
Oh, okay. Let's see if I can find it. Um,
Well, I think of Dona AEs Requiem.
right. Okay. Can you see this? You can see that window, right? I was going to bring that up. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Whoop. Latin. Id. Okay.
I've never seen Dona EEs Requiem, but
Yeah,
I've
here
seen
it is.
Dona AEs.
There we go. I
Requiem.
think this is the right one. They should. Oh, they don't have it, do they? Do they? Oh,
No,
here it is.
none here. Yeah.
There it is. In the demonstrative form of is, ea, id, there are alternate forms. In other words, the usual form is eis. Okay. But there is an alternate form, eis and is. You can think of this as a contraction. Uh, Latin does have contractions. We haven't run into any yet, but they're there. Aes and ees are just variants of the same word, and es is the contraction of that. So I really need to add these into my table just to prevent confusion. So AE can be EE or just E in conversation.
What do
So
they mean about obsolete forms?
Okay. The really old form, like you go back to, say, 500 BC, and you're reading scribbles on a wall, you will see some forms that vanished from the language Really, the Latin we're studying now, and even though we're looking forwards to ecclesiastical Latin, is really the Latin of around the first century BC, first century AD. And then when we get into more and more ecclesiastical terms, they're terms that have been added to Latin as Christianity spread and attempted to express itself in Latin, such as ecclesia.
That makes sense because
Which-
that's when literature really exploded.
Yeah, and you see the same thing, by the way, if you go back and read English from, say, King Henry VIII's time, it is a challenge because you will see the word THE. Now, you might say, oh, it's the. Well, it could be. It could also be the, as in, I give thee blessings. The spelling was not terribly regularized in English in the time of Henry VIII. We can thank Shakespeare for a lot of what ended up as the regularized forms, because he had such an impact on the English language. He also invented a lot of new words, which we still have today. So, yes, when they say it's an obsolete form, that means you may see it inscribed on the side of a monument or wall. It could be graffiti, who knows? But it basically vanished by the classical period.
Okay, thanks.
So,
Online, they make this comment that Romans frequently contracted the long double vowel forms into a single long I
right,
sound.
right, which is what we would normally do. We
And
wouldn't say ees, we'd say east, just because
mhm.
it's easier. The English speakers, like the Romans, are a bit lazy. So yes, that's where those come from. And I will update my. I need to make a. Oh yeah, then we're gonna have an Eastud, which is that long that yonder, but we'll save that for a future
in
future
our
discussion.
Familia Romana, do we get the sense that they prefer the EEs over the AEs? Or are they using it both
I
ways?
don't know. Give me just a second to look here. I honestly don't know. Um, Give me just, I think I can do this. Yeah, there it is. I'll open the entire Familia Romana. And let me search for AEs. You want what? AEs?
Well, I mean, they used EEs here, so it just made me wonder.
Oh. Interesting. Okay. Believe it or not, in chapter 7, let me add this. Hold on. Let me add this to the list. I will share this. Whoops. Here it is. Share. I will add this. There we go. We've actually seen this. Yeah, this is in chapter 7. Is he shows eis equals aes, or in this case, the servants. And let's see if I can find any more of these. Maes. Well, that's not what I want. Let's see here.
Yeah,
Aes.
I see EEs on line 59.
Yeah. Okay. He prefers eis. IIS.
If you look at line 59
Uh, on what
in
this
chapter 7,
chapter 7. Oh dear. Hold on. Let's see here. What chapter am I in here? I am in 3. Oh, I got a long ways to go here. Chapter 5, chapter 6. Chapter 7. Okay, which
Okay, and go
line?
down to 59, line 59, the last word on that line.
Whoops, too far. Let me get rid of the sidebar there. 59. Whoop. Yeah, Ilios. Yeah, I think he prefers the EEs. A quick check of the document shows that he
But
likes.
it's interesting because he said he has AE in there and he's got AOS in there, but
Let's see here. Yeah, that's a special character, so it's hard for me to search for it. But oh, there it is. EEs, EEs. So he likes the EEs.
like for example, on line 49 of that same chapter,
Mm-hmm.
same story, on line 49,
Yep.
if you can go to that.
Whoop. Come on, we can get there. Paletros, 49.
49.
49.
If you see he
49 is down here.
he he has AE, yeah. So it's just kind of interesting. He's got AE, but he likes to say EEs.
Well, AE in the dative is, I don't recall it ever being the EE. The variation I've always seen was in the plural. So,
Oh, okay, yeah, all right. So
and
we're talking the difference
dative,
between
yeah,
ablative and dative. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Well, actually, nominative plural. That's nominative plural. Well, all right, you're right. The dative plural though is EEs. So yeah,
Well, ablative plural is an
and the
EE.
ablative as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's just curious to me that they kind of switch like that.
Yeah. All right. Way overdue. So let's Precatio finalis. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen. And so that is the official end of the class.